I want to use this video of me performing some beat swings just to demonstrate a fault that I see in people not just doing beat swings, but also as it applies to trying to chain together kipping chest to bar pull-ups, regular pull-ups, toes to bar, knees to elbows, you name it. So if you look on the top, the video here, I'm going to start behind the bar. You can see my center of mass is completely behind the pull-up bar at this point in time. And a lot of people do this subconsciously or else to get a little bit of momentum on that first one. So when I take my feet off the floor, you can see I'm just going to start swinging back and forth. Just by gravity is going to be pulling me this way. So I've got a swing happening that's pretty much out of control. So I'm going to take my feet off of the floor. And you can see the first beat swing is going to take place way out in front of the bar. Now my whole center of mass is in front of the bar because gravity is just pulling me back and forth like I'm sitting on a swing. Okay. The second one is going to take place at the red line. So you can see, even though I've got a somewhat in control beat swing, I've got an out of control sort of interference effect that's happening here. So one beat swing is going to take place in front of the bar, the next beat swing is going to take place behind the bar. In contrast, on the bottom, I pick my feet off of the floor and I've got no swing due to gravity whatsoever because my center of mass is aligned to the rack. So I can initiate it by pressing my feet back, pressing my chest forward into that Superman position, and the next one will be behind, the next one in front. So everyone is going to look exactly like the last, and I should at any point in time be able to stop myself and not be swinging back and forth because my center of mass is always aligned to the rig. So in the next video, you're going to see why that's important as it pertains to kipping pull-ups. Okay, now we're going to take that same example and apply it to kipping chest to bar pull-ups and trying to string a bunch in a row. So Kate is using like the turbo boost method, I call it. This is jumping behind the bar. Her whole center of mass at this point is behind the bar. So it's really going to pull her with a lot of momentum going forward like this into a big Superman position, which you'll see in a second here. She's going to be well in front of the bar, right? So gravity is going to be accelerating her backwards and make it easy for her to do that chest to bar pull-up. The problem is, since she started with her whole center of mass behind the bar, when she does the Superman, she ends up with almost an entire center of mass in front of the bar. So it's going to come back again, that out of control momentum, and it's going to interfere with her next rep. You can already see here her whole entire body is again behind the bar, right? It's pulling her, and now she's not nearly as far out in front. So I started directly under the bar. And you can see her last Superman was way farther forward. This Superman is getting that destructive interference effect, and she's having a hard time getting that same position. So now gravity's not going to be accelerating her as much, and she's going to be really struggling to get her chest to the bar on the second one. The third one will be impossible. Okay, so as opposed, when you see me start my first set of chest to bar here, I start from directly under, right? And every rep will look like the last, so I don't have that destructive interference. The other thing I'd recommend, when you push away from the bar, try to hit position 2 with your feet out in front of you. Again, this will put some of the weight behind the bar, some of the weight in front of the bar, so that my center of mass is aligned with the rig. If my center of mass is aligned with the rig, then I won't have that destructive interference effect happening where one rep it's behind the rig, the next rep it's in front of the rig, and I can't do more than 2 in a row. So I want every rep to be the same. So really pushing away from the bar, getting the feet out in front of you, which snaps you into that Superman position, and then you bounce off of the bottom is what we're looking for.